everybody. How are you all? Are you chilly? I'm a little bit chilly. Looking at my thermometer, it's 0 degrees centigrade in the shed. Oh, let's get comfy. And it's about -3 outside. But my goodness, it's gorgeous. I couldn't wait to get down here this morning. I was hoping that no one else had been because I wanted to do the first footprints. Yay! You know, there's something about snow which just brings out the big kid in so many of us, isn't there? I love it. I wouldn't love it if it was around for 4 or 5 months. That would drive me a bit nuts. But just for a few days, it's great. So today, it's the 1st of March. So I should be filming my March garden walkabout. Not going to see anything. I'm still going to go out there and show you around the garden and show you how it's looking because it's so pretty under the snow. But I'm thinking I might kind of take you guys around some other parts of the plot or the site too, just to see how it's looking under the snow because it's so gorgeous. Now the other thing about today, whether I was going to film or not, is I had to get down because a couple of days ago when I was down here in the first flurries of snow, I completely forgot to fill up the bird feeders and to harvest. So I've been and bought a load of new fat balls and seeds and what have you for the birdies. I did look at buying a big sack of mealworms, but by Jiminy they were expensive. Basically, a big bag of mealworms was going to cost me like 2 or 3 weeks of what I spend on myself. So, sorry birds, it's just going to be fat balls and seeds for you for now. And I think I've got some leftover peanuts. So we'll get that done too. And that'll be it. Just going to sit and enjoy. I've got the shed door closed just to retain the 0 degrees of heat I've got in here. I did a minute ago try and brew up, but my gas can's frozen, so what I could do is shove it down my trousers to warm it up, but the thought of putting a cold canister of gas in my trousers puts me off. Anyway, should we go and have a little look at the garden and how it's looking at the beginning of March? Yeah, it's so funny because normally at the beginning of March I'd be getting super excited about the growing season to come. And I am still excited. But for the last, 5 or 6 years, I've always booked the last 2 weeks of March off as annual leave from work. And in those 2 weeks, I'm out here digging, prepping the beds, getting out the old winter stuff, getting ready for the next season. And in previous years, I've been out here in, a short sleeve t-shirt, just a pair of leggings, digging away, huffing and puffing, and perfectly warm. I can't see me doing my 2 weeks at the end of March at this rate. But also that just goes to show, in the winter, over the winter, I'm assuming this isn't for people who have snow all winter, but for most of us in the UK, especially in the southern part of the UK, get out there through the winter, get doing your prep through the winter, because every now and again something like this happens and you're not going to be able to do anything, and then when it all melts and thaws you'll be in a panic of like, I've got to get everything done. So it's a lesson for next year if you haven't done it this year. Do what you can when you can through the winter, because you never know when we might get a surprise. Snow like this for London is really unusual. We do get little flurries from time to time, but rarely does it stick, and rarely do we have it for more than 24 hours. So yeah, that's why I wanted to get down here, to make the most of it, because it doesn't happen very often. Come on, let's go and have a look in the garden. So, until about a week and a half ago, I was feeling thoroughly on top of things and raring to go to get my last bits and pieces done. And then this happened. Oh, it's glorious, isn't it? So, yeah, obviously I'm not going to be doing anything today, anything in the next few days. Oh, I left my plank out the other day. Oh, never mind, I'll leave it. Yeah, no work's going to be done, but actually I'm pretty well ready for this year for the most part. Oh look, I don't think the stock is liking this frosty weather. Never mind, I've got loads and loads of flower seeds to sow for this little section for this year, so never mind if they don't survive. If they do, that would be great, but if they don't, never mind. So, can you feel the wind? By Jiminy, actually, let's stand over here and see if I can get a bit of protection from my neighbour's fence. Oh, yeah. So this will be the first bed in action, apart from the potatoes. So this bed will be in action in about 4 weeks' time. Oh my goodness. So up there at the far end will be white onions. Then under where the nets are, that's going to be my 3 rows of carrots, 2 rows of leeks, similar to what I did last year to sort of a bit of companion planting. Then here's going to be my red onions. Then in this big bare patch, this is going to be the flint corn, which is where what I'm going to do is just basically sort of scratch a little bit of the top layer of soil away and chuck in the chopped up field beans that are currently left standing in the potato bed. I explained about I'm leaving them for now on a video a couple of days ago. But yeah, I'll chop them up, chuck them in there, just scratch the soil back, and then just plant all the flint corn into there. And then this little bit where the garlic currently are, oh my goodness, look at them sad little things. I didn't get any more straw, but here I'll have my celery and celeriac. So that bed is pretty much ready for action, apart from the flint corn bed, which, well, normally I would do the spuds around St Patrick's Day, the 17th of March. It may be a bit delayed this year, but as soon as I get the spuds in down there, I'll be able to get this bed finished by way of putting the field beans in to release their nitrogen for the nitrogen hungry flint corn. So this bed, pretty much ready. This bed, oh my goodness, not quite. So yes, I think the last of my celery are going to have had it, aren't they? My plan had been this week to get out the last of the good celery, leaving a couple of plants here to go to seed, and then this whole area is going to be for the tomatoes this year. So my plan was to give it all a tickle over, and if you remember, I've got this bin is full of wood ash from the bonfire, so it needs sifting because there is going to be some rubbish in there, nails, what have you, and I've got some face masks just to protect my respiratory tract while I'm sifting it, because you do not want wood ash in your lungs. So the idea was to give this bed a tickle, rake in the wood ash, and then under these 2 bins I've got all the semi-composted chickpea remains. I was then going to spread that across the top as a mulch to just plant straight through. Yeah, so that job's going to have to wait. And the rest of the bed, well, it's still got produce in it, so I've still got my purple sprouting broccoli, which, it's not sprouting yet. Now, most brassicas are they're pretty tolerant of sort of a bit of a frosting, but let's see how long this weather goes on, and let's see if they are going to survive. If they're not going to survive and they're not going to sprout, probably what I'll do is I'll just harvest as much of the leaves as I can, and I don't know, make a load of soup or something. Under here, can you just about make out my last row of carrots? So the ones I saved from here at the beginning of the year, I got out and froze, and they're all finished now. So I was hoping to have some carrots away today, but I think that'll have to wait. I'm certainly going to have a couple of cabbages today. Gorgeous with the little bit of snow on them. This is what I mean. I just think at all times of the year there's something beautiful to look at in the garden. It's nature's work of art, isn't it? So yeah, I'm not in a hurry to get any of these last brassicas and carrots out, because this whole bed now is the vine bed for next year, and that's always the last things I'll plant. Oops, so I'm watching my footing in the snow. Yeah, it's always the last things to plant. So in this section, squash, and then right down at the front here I'll have a couple of rows of peppers, and then behind them the cucumbers on the cucumber frame. So none of that will go in till, gosh, probably not till the middle of May. So we are, probably about 10 weeks away from needing this bed. So there's no hurry with any of it. It's all fine. Good job I've fleeced the broad beans, isn't it? Oh, poor little garden. It looks so beautiful, but it must be chilly. So this bed is also going to be, it's going to be all the climbing squash on the wigwams. This is my way this year of trying to make more space. Have the squash climbing up the wigwams. On this side I'm going to underplant them all with the lentils, and on this side it'll all be underplanted with things like salad leaves, spinach, chard, what have you, all those lovely cut and come again leaves. And then of course either side of the grass paths are going to be my arches for beans on both this path and the next path. So again, there's no desperate hurry to get this bed prepped. The green manure, the field beans, have been chopped and they're just sitting there giving a little bit of protection from the snow. But yeah, I won't really have to worry about getting this bed tickled over until sometime in April. So yeah, no hurry, it's all on track. Same for this bed. This is going to be, I've forgotten. Oh yes, I know. The rock and core beans and fennel here, and then a bit closer down here this is going to be for the chickpeas. At the far end where you see the field beans that I left standing, that's going to be for the spuds. So most of this bed I don't need to worry about again until sort of mid-April, even the beginning of May. But that end I would normally like to have got it sorted by the middle of March, at least get my trenches dug for my spuds. I don't think the Cavolo Nero is too happy in this temperature. Look how it's wilted in just a couple of days. It looks black today, doesn't it, against the snow? Yeah, I definitely have to get some of that harvested today. Another little job today, there's not too much, but it's just to get the snow off the top of the cold frame. There's not really much, but I don't want it to build up and create a weight which could possibly smash a window. I don't think we'll have enough to do that, but just to be on the safe side. The things like my rosemary and the sage down here, which need a jolly good pruning, they are definitely going to wait until it's a bit warmer, because if I start pruning them now, oh, poor things, I'll probably just kill them. What you can't see under here was masses and masses of Nigella had self-sown. So fortunately I saved a load of seed, because I think this snow will have killed the poor things off. Everything just looks so lovely with a bit of snow on it, doesn't it? So these are the some of those long, fairly straight lengths of trunks that I saved from the barn pile, which I'm going to use to make my teepees for the climbing squash. I wonder if this is going to work. I'm so tempted to have some out and feel, but I'm hoping what will happen is that they'll sort of dry in shape. I need to get some more. Look, it's like the moon landings. Oh, it's so gorgeous, it's so peaceful. Not a soul around, unsurprisingly. So that is how the garden is looking at the beginning of March. It's sort of ready. It's pretty much ready for action. It seems hard to believe at the moment, doesn't it? But that in 4 weeks' time, when I'm standing here at the beginning of April, walking around the garden, walking, that doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? But that, you know, bean poles will be up. The sun will be up, hopefully. The first things will be in the ground. Oh, happy days.